2015 has been a period of significant change in Europe. Over 1.3 million asylum seekers crossed into the continent, receiving about 15% of the world's refugees during that year. But in 2008, Italy had already begun observing a slight increase in refugees who were crossing the Mediterranean Sea from northern Africa. According to the Dublin regulation, refugees must reside in the first country they enter, which can impede and delay asylum claims while adding pressure on external European border states. Greece and Italy, who are at the receiving end of migrant transfer from other states within the EU, often resort to detention camps when overburdened with asylum seekers, even though it is clearly stated that detention should only be used as a last resort. When the host country faces severe housing shortages, migrants will resort to squatting, an illegal tool often used to start participating in the legal system. Squatting can provide a hand up, a stepping stone for refugees. This abandoned clinic in the city center of Turin, Italy, has been vacant since 1998. In 2008, it was squatted by 300 refugees from Eritrea, Ethiopia, Sudan, and Somalia, all of whom were legal. The clinic gained the name of House of Africa. And in 2009, the local residents formed a committee to pressure the city, which led to the eviction of all migrants. The building remained empty again for 11 years.
Permesso, ragazzi!
Most of the migrants were temporarily relocated to two facilities. The first one, an old military barrack and an armory at Via Asti, 6.9 kilometers away from the squat just outside the city center. The rules inside the barracks included constant monitoring of activities, an 11 p.m. curfew, no visitors allowed, and no one outside the squat is allowed to stay, meaning that refugees who are expecting family members can't be reunited. The second location is a temporary camp set up by the Red Cross on Via Antonio, in an industrial enclave 13 kilometers away in between Turin and the municipality of Setmo, where the Italian Red Cross is headquartered. Both interventions lasted 6 months and successfully pushed away migrants from participating in the local fabric. Some were able to find work in Turin, while the majority continued north, searching for a new home in other European countries. Squats can provide a certain level of dignity. When buildings are underutilized, they can perfectly satisfy one's need for space, resulting in a unique emerging typology. At the height of the Dutch squatting movement in the 1980s, squatting was used as a countercultural lifestyle. The Plantage Dockland in Amsterdam is a former industrial complex which has been squatted on multiple occasions in the 1980s and late 90s. Squatters provided workspaces for artists, collectives, and social initiatives. The complex became a major subcultural hub, and under the city's new law on creative spaces, the Plantage Dock cultural significance was recognized and legalized in the early 2000s. In the case of the House of Africa, the building was vacant for a total of 20 years until it was bought by a developer in 2020. The squatting movement always finds itself in between the right to housing and the right to property. Squatting can take multiple forms but never fails to address societal problems around housing, while calling attention to regimes of exclusion and real estate vacancy.